Hey, y'all, listen, happy Thursday. Welcome in the building. I had something to do earlier, but I said, you know what? This train still got to pull out the building. So we're pulling out. Listen, thought we was going to chill. At least I did. I thought we was going to chill until May. May will be here in what, 6 days? I thought we was going to just lean back, chill, and then here comes Shannon Sharpe. I thought we was chilling up until the Diddy trial. But nah, Shannon Sharpe couldn't let us chill. Here comes Shannon Sharpe with his shenanigans. And day by day, it's getting worse and worse. So welcome in the building, y'all. It's trending topics, and the title is Crying Out for Help. Crying out for help. When you a grown man, we're talking grown. When you a grown man and you don't know that it don't make no sense that you out here doing the kind of things you doing with some young girl, and these young girls, they know how to secretly record everything. They be snapping pictures of you and you don't even know what's happening. You a fool. When you got $100 million contract on the line and you playing games, you're a fool. So we learned that Shannon Sharpe stepped down from ESPN, and he did them a favor himself because they was going to have to fire him. They was going to have to back out of that contract. So he was smart in saying, I'm stepping down. So it looks better for him. That is not plastered everywhere, because they said they was in the process of making a decision. And listen, even Stevie Wonder could see what that decision was going to be. He was going to get fired. But he was smart, and he went ahead and he stepped down. And then got the nerve to talk about, I'll be back. Sir, you be back where? Where? And $100 million doesn't just come around like that. It's a needle in a haystack. I'll tell you what, ESPN, I ain't no sports girl. I never been, and I ain't gonna pretend to be. But holla at the diva. I'll abide by your morality clause. And you can get the diva on a discount. I'll take $50 million. But listen, I knew his time was coming, and it was coming because the ex-ESPN female employees who felt they got dirty, they were speaking out on the X, formerly Twitter, in the social media, saying, how y'all going to keep Shannon Sharpe? And they said Shannon Sharpe been had allegations about him doing wild stuff to the females. So they was like, how you going to keep Shannon Sharpe, but y'all kicked us to the curb because we didn't want to get the COVID vaccine. Y'all did us dirty over some COVID stuff and claim we broke COVID rules. But now this man got all these accusations. You going to keep him? So ESPN, they had their back up against the wall. And then Stephen A. Smith, say what you want about him. Sometimes we got to understand we don't got to agree with everything somebody said, but that don't mean everything they said is just dead wrong. Have you ever put your integrity on the line for a friend? Your friend call you up talking about, I need a job. So you do them a solid. You speak to your boss. You speak to the people. You get them a job, and then they don't show up on time. They doing all kind of crazy stuff at work. And you like, come on, I put myself on the line for you. You are representing me. Stephen A. Smith said he hollered at the people and said, go check out Shannon. He doing big things. A lot of times when people get these big jobs, they don't want to put nobody on. So holler at Stephen A. Smith because he put Shannon Sharpe on, and now Shannon Sharpe got him looking like a whole fool. You gotta shout out to the people that put people on. Because let me tell you something, even in these YouTube streets, the people not quick to tell you how to do things, how to level up, how to put yourself on. They not. So that's why I'm telling you, it's really important. And it's a big thing when people put you on, especially when they put you on to a payday that's $100 million. Shannon Sharpe messed up. Fumbled the bag. And not just the bag, fumbled $100 million bag. And then Michelle, remember the Instagram, that girl, he said, oh, my Michelle. Well, now the Michelle came out and she said, this is who Shannon Sharpe is because he awed me. Somebody told me the other night in my chat, now I didn't verify this, but you know, y'all be knowing stuff in the chat. They told me that he had 24 other cases and he settled 23 out of the 24. Well, the 24th one, which I'm going to consider this Michelle, she's rising back up to take him down. He should have paid her. If he paid the other 23, why didn't he just pay her? I don't know. And y'all thought just because Diddy was behind bars that the predators was off the streets. Child, the predators are amongst us, so you better watch out. This man found this girl in the gym. And respectfully, I'm saying this respectfully, we're having an adult conversation here, right? Remember when Cassie met Diddy, she was like, he kept pursuing me. I didn't like him. Listen, I'm saying this respectfully. Why are you giving people you don't like your number or your time? But that's what Cassie said. And you know what this chick said? I didn't like him. I didn't want him, but he kept pursuing me. He kept calling me. He can't call you if you ain't give him your number. And if you did give him your number, you didn't want him to have it afterwards, honey, it's called block. Now, back when I was growing up, before we had cell phones, we had just a regular landline. And it wasn't that easy to just block the people. Now, in 2.2 seconds, you can hit block. Now, I'm not even techie, but I know how to block somebody. Yeah, I do. Because it ain't hard. So if you didn't want to be bothered with him no more, it's called block. Block his number. But you know, I ain't blaming the young buck. This is all Shannon Sharpe fault. An old stupid fool. So we're going to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about Wendy Williams done called Al Sharpton. All I can say to y'all, shout out to Wendy Williams. She's not playing. And listen, at this point, she need to call Trump. Get me out of here. Do what you got to do, but get out of this conservatorship. Guardianship, conservatorship, whatever it is, get out of it and call everybody. Call the president, the vice president. I be calling everybody. So kudos to Wendy Williams. She called Al Sharpton. You want to get stuff done, that's who you call in the black community. You call Al Sharpton. And he went over to that facility where she's staying at, and he went and prayed with Wendy. This stuff is wild. I still, in my mind, I'm just like, I just can't even imagine that this is happening. But y'all see the world we living in? When the people want to play around with the religion, when the people want to act like there's no higher being, When people want to say, let everybody do whatever and just wow. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Also, when I was growing up on the regular TV, I'm not talking the cable TV, on the regular TV, there was so much you would see. Now, I promise you, on the regular TV, you seeing the most. On the regular TV, you seeing R-rated stuff. I'm like, what? This is the times that we're in. And you got a Shannon Sharpe talking on the phone about, I'm going to come do it here. I'm going to flip you this way. I'm going to stick you this way. I'm going to choke you. I don't care what your preference is. Let me tell you this. It is always better when you're in a monogamous relationship where it's just you and the other person. When you want to enter a third person, it's going to be problematic, period. Period. When you want to run in these streets and you sleeping with A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, it's going to be problematic, period. When your personal life is messy, it's going to seep into your business life. It is. You can't separate the two. Your personal life is going to mess with your business life if your personal life is messy. I'm going to start numbering my tips. That's a diva tip right there. Take it from a girl that's been around the block for a minute. Take it from diva who's 55. To God be the glory this year. I'm double nickels. Take it from the diva. Take it from the diva who don't mind being her age and acting her age. I got nieces, I got nephews, I got godkids, I got a son. You're not going to see me in nobody's club spreading it wide and dropping it low. I'm not dating no young boy. I'm not. I heard what Tracy Ellis Ross said the other day. The young man, they don't have no baggage. They don't have no this. They don't have no that. And to each his own, but I'm not dating a young buck. I'm not dating somebody that could be my grandchild, my nephew. No, I'm not. I'll just wait until I find a mature person my age or in that bracket. But I'm not going to be in these streets being a whole fooling around and acting crazy. I'm not going to be nowhere twerking. Now, you may see a little cleavage every now and then. Because I like my fashion. But I'm not going to get crazy. So listen, people, I done talked enough. I need to bring the people on in the building. I know what I need in the chat, y'all. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is Crying Out for Help. Shannon Sharpe is crying out for help. He needs help. Because when you're a grown man acting like that in the streets, you need help. And we got Wendy Williams, called Al Sharpton. I promise you, if there's a prayer that I have for somebody I don't even know right now, is for Wendy Williams, that before 2025 is out, to God be the glory. May this woman get out of this guardianship. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Felicia. Hey, Wayne.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Hey, in my opinion. Hey, Julius. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, y'all, hit the like button.
Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. Listen, my goal, I got 6 days left. Miracles can happen. My goal is to hit 40K. I think I need about 500 more subs. So if you out there and you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Let's get into it. We're going to start with Wendy. We're going to start with Wendy because she done called Al Sharpton in the building. Paige and Al. Come on. You know what? I don't even know, when Al leaves us, I don't know who is going to step into this role, because it ain't nobody else that I know of that's ready. Al Sharpton is still on these streets, hitting the pavement for every cause that he can. Al is there. Al done took himself down to that facility where Wendy was to go pray with her. Al Sharpton, I'm playing with Wendy, will help her where I can. Oh, come on, Al. If I ever need son, I'm calling Al.
Hey, Mr. Sharpton, how are you? You look fantastic today.
Al was like 90 pounds.
Can we jump for a couple of seconds? So here we go. So you just spoke to Wendy. How's she doing?
We had prayer. She's doing very well. I wish the best for her. That's all I'm going to say right now. We spent about 40 minutes together. She's doing very well.
Well, Reverend, just really quickly, when someone calls you, it's pretty serious when Reverend Al gets involved. How serious is this, and what does the fight look like when you're involved?
It's serious enough to say we had prayer. That's all I'm going to say now.
Okay.
Mr. Sharpton, just one question for Timsy. Going forward, how do you plan on helping Wendy? Is it strictly spiritually?
Any way I can be helpful to her and the family.
Was she in good spirits?
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. Ciao.
And Al old school, he still got that perm. Al Sharpton just got done meeting with Wendy Williams at her assisted living facility.
I knew that I wasn't in good health.
At her assisted living facility. And he says they prayed over the situation. Listen, I ain't mad. Al taking this thing where it belongs, old school. He said we prayed. Prayer changes things. We got Al going in and out of the Katori in New York City on Thursday, the place Wendy likes to refer to as a luxury prison. Our photographers asked him about what he's doing to help Wendy and how she's holding up. Wendy's fighting to get out of her guardianship, and Al says they spent about 40 minutes together, including time spent praying. Al says she's doing well and was in good spirits when he visited. And while he reserved about what potential next steps are, he says he's wishing her the best. Wendy hung out with Don Lemon earlier this month, and she's going out of field times with her niece, Alex. So it's good to see her getting some social interaction outside of Katori. It's also interesting to see Wendy reaching out to Sharpton, and the Reverend tells us why his involvement is usually a sign of a serious situation. After all, Wendy's judge is saying her career is over. That judge was a nasty, despicable somebody. I'm glad Al came through. Leo, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm glad Al came through too. I'm glad he did. Looking like what you say? You say he looked like he 90 pounds?
You did 90 pounds soaking wet.
Girl, that's TV weight too. I couldn't imagine. He looked like a flea, don't he? Good night. He is very tiny. Okay. But I'm glad he showed up looking spry. Al looked good for, his age. Al been around us long in the too. No, Al been around forever. So I'm glad he stepped up. He's out. He did say a prayer for her, and I do believe him that he's going to do everything he can. I'm sure he can talk to some folks. I'm sure he can figure out a plan to apply other types of pressure, even if it's just so much as maybe getting some younger folks in line to maybe protest or boycott, or somebody can come up with something. I believe Al Sharpton can.
Yeah, I feel that way too. Thank you, Leo. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, good evening, everybody, and happy Thursday. Reverend Al pops up at so many different places. One day he's with the governor, the next day he's with the Pepsi people, he's with Target, he's with families grieving, and now he's reached out to Wendy. And I think that's wonderful. Because when you have people who are coming forward, who are connected, who have information, it gives you hope to get through the night, that tomorrow going to be a little brighter, a little better. He didn't go there to waste his time. Reverend Al don't waste his time. He goes in there to see what he can do, and he said he's going to do his best, and I believe him. So I wish her the well. I wish her son the best. It's just, every time I think about her son, my heart breaks for what he has to deal with this situation. But I'm glad to also that you said that she went out a couple of times, and we know socialization is very important because, as we understand it, she's on the floor where people can't communicate. There is no socialization, and this is this woman's whole life, socializing and talking and discussing things, and you're with a whole bunch of people who can't do that. So I do wish her the best, and I thank Reverend Al for going out there and reaching out to her. I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you, RD. Julius, your thoughts?
You know, when Reverend Al involved, it's about to go down. That man is a force to be reckoned with. Because he has that radical, crazy faith. I'm going to say it again. That radical, crazy faith. He gon' do what he gonna do. And I think also by the end of the year, Wendy's gonna be out. And that judge, oh, let's talk about that ragamuffin. That ragamuffin is heated because, as the saying goes, the jig is up. And so I applaud Wendy for calling Reverend Al. And he said, I'm going to do what I can. But you know, he had that look. Y'all just going to have to wait and see. That means it's about to go down, as Big Frida would say. You already know.
Thank you, Julius. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So when you want things to happen, you call upon the right people.
Oh, come on now. Yeah.
And so Wendy has done her work, okay? She's putting her attorney in place that's gonna help her. She got her voice of speaking out there, which is gonna be Reverend Al, okay? We all know when he does a speech, he gets change to happening. I really feel like this is Wendy's rainbow season. She's gonna come out of this and we're gonna see a beautiful rainbow at the end of this. I do think she need to be freed, and I think she's reaching out to the right people. And notice he didn't tell you a thing because when Al does something, he doesn't take he don't speak his words first. He let his voice be what he gonna do. Yeah, he's putting his plan together, and before he get out and speak, he's gonna have his whole plan together. I feel sorry for this judge.
Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm glad he, she got in touch with him and he stepped up. And I hope this prompts other, leaders in the Black community to talk about it, you know, put the spotlight on it, because the more people talk about it, like, and do something about it, like Al Sharpton and any of the other leaders, it's going to be put more pressure on, I think, the judge, with all of them, to do the right thing and let her, and just say, hey, let's end this because it's getting too hot. So that's what I'm hoping. I hope other leaders will come forth and really put the spotlight out there and really make the judge uncomfortable, make the conservative, all of them uncomfortable. So I'm glad somebody finally from the community stepped up, because I haven't really heard anybody. That's it.
Thank you. Now, I just found out that, I don't know, I did the story a while ago where I told you this this doctor sent a letter to Wells Fargo about, Wendy's condition. Now they saying Wendy Williams' team alleges $60K was paid to the doctor behind her guardianship without her consent. So this doctor had motivation. They're all in it. This thing is a scam. So this doctor that sent this letter to Lori at Wells Fargo Bank illegally to say that he's been working with my patient for over a year. In the last 6 months, she's been unable to make reasoned decisions. They're saying he got $60K. I pray to God that Al helps her. This is a shame. This was a scam. Yeah, they're all in cahoots. Katrina, your thoughts?
Well, my father said, when you got 2 or 3 and you ask for me, I will show you. He said they build towers, but he can tear down buildings. You just got to have the faith of a mustard seed, and I will be there. Just cast your worries on me and let me handle it. So by him coming to there to pray with her, and by his will, everything will fall into place. Everything that meant to be is going to be. She just got to have faith. She just got to she got to be unstressed, because being stressed is only going to bring in more worries and more frustration and more heartache and more sickness in your body. So let him do what he does. I know she's not feeling complete right now. So, but just all she got to do is have faith. You just have faith, and everything's gonna work out in your favor. You just got to believe, because he do not like downers and he do not like doubters. So believe in what you're doing. Believe in what everything is gonna be okay, and it will work out for you. And I pray that she get the help that she needs. And that doctor, he look like he need to be in a hospital himself, because it look like he owns something allegedly. But anyway, they scamming this lady. He broke HIPAA laws big time. And it's ridiculous. So I hope Al Sharpton do what he can to get her out of that. That's all I got.
Thank you, Katrina. So let's go ahead and roll into this Shannon Sharpe story, because it's so loaded. Shannon Sharpe is the talk of the town right now, and in not a good way. You know, he did all that talk on Club Shay Shay, and now he need to be on the other side of the couch, and somebody need to be asking him some questions. But let's start out to say, one, he stepped down from ESPN. So Shannon Sharpe announces he's temporarily stepping away from ESPN amid SA allegations. My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I'm electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues. Shannon Sharpe. And they said, oh, wow, alleged close sources of Shannon Sharpe claimed he had BDSM sex with his accuser at least 100 times. And then the new release audio, which we heard when we was here the other day, because we just did this. Shannon Sharpe talking to woman, accusing him of SA. I might choke you in public. Big black guy choked small white woman. Shannon Sharpe says Tony Busby and the woman accusing him of SA are performing a shakedown. This isn't right. Tony Busby targets black men. Not going to replay that. I don't even feel like hearing Shannon Sharpe voice again in regards to this, And then let me share a screen really quickly. Now, do I think he's going to be back preseason? I personally don't, because I think this thing is going to get worse. So silence ex-SPNers fume over network's handling of bombshell Shannon Sharpe allegations. So I'm going to summarize this for you. These two young ladies here, this picture was taken during COVID. So they were slammed and screamed at by bosses that they were standing so close to each other during COVID, amongst other things. They said this picture was an issue for ESPN, but the fact that they were sitting next to each other on the news desk, it wasn't. They alleged some more things and say that They got reprimanded for smaller stuff and fired. And these allegations against Shannon Sharpe, there's been allegations like that, they said, for years. So they was really kind of secretly calling for ESPN to stop being hypocritical and fire Shannon Sharpe. So that's that. I just summarized that for y'all. Let me share screen again. I hope I didn't. Oh, I didn't kick out of it. Hold on one second. So more shock claims. Second Shannon Sharpe accuser says he armed her, then threatened to ruin her if she shared about his heinous acts. The woman exclusively opened up to U.S. Sun about the alleged incident. Shannon Sharpe was accused of arming a second woman, even threatening to ruin her in a separate lawsuit. The U.S. Sun has obtained a copy of the ongoing lawsuit filed by Shannon's former girlfriend, Michelle Bundy Evans, who accused the former NFL star of SAing her. That was her. Shannon Sharpe, 56, is currently facing a separate lawsuit filed by a woman under the alias of Jane Doe, who claimed he armed her when she tried to end their relationship in 2024. He has denied the allegations and the case is ongoing. However, he did step away from his ESPN job on Thursday, insisting he will return at the start of the NFL preseason. In Evans' lawsuit against an NFL star turned sports host and podcast Juggernaut, which was filed in the late 2023, she made a slew of fighting claims against Sharpe about the alleged 2010 incident. Evans took out a restraining order against Sharpe, which she would later drop, a decision she elaborated on in conversation with the U.S. Sun. In the lawsuit that she filed back then, she's saying that he cheated on her, that he armed her, that he abused her. And, you know, she's been in this lawsuit with him for a long time, and she just kind of refiled it. I'm not going to go through this whole article, but the bottom line is he seems to have a track record at the very least. All right, so we'll get into this. Leo, your thoughts?
So what's your question? Is he an animal? What are we asking? What's the question?
I mean, whatever your thoughts are on the fact that he stepped down, the fact that there is somebody else out there that is saying that this is who this man is, that he's violent, he abuses women, he takes advantage of them, and he has volatile relationships.
All correct. I do believe that he is an abuser. I believe he's a violent abuser based on a pattern of behavior that is very clear, regardless of whether or not I take every woman's word for every minute detail. Of course, every case is everything will be, is determined case by case basis. But it does seem to me that he does have a violent pattern when it comes to the ladies. It really does. And I think the optics are terrible. Of course, ESPN is going to request that he try to distance himself from them while he try to handle his business, but he done. And as far as these young ladies are concerned, I think that, of course, I feel like the people really did, the higher ups, the people in established media, they really did like Shannon Sharpe. I really do believe that good folks, other men in high positions who enjoy practicing their misogyny on women in the workplace would hold on to Shannon Sharpe, but berate these young ladies for taking a photograph during COVID. I mean, I believe that. And I believe there's a lot of things they have let Shannon Sharpe get away with because they're animals too at the workplace. And so they probably did let Shannon Sharpe get away with a lot of stuff. I can't, sir, and everybody, others they may have gotten rid of for less. They may have. And maybe Shannon Sharpe was their golden one. But now the optics on this one is terrible. And of course, they're gonna cut ties with him. He's done. He is done. I'm gonna get off the line. He's done.
He done. He done. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, Diva, we're coming into the 10 o'clock hour. So it looks like Shannon's down to about 26 hours. Shay got to pay. And if he don't, they going to play that video. And all those who need video to believe, well, they'll become believers. I remember with the Cassie story, and when you first did it on this panel, I believed what she put in her claim. I didn't need to see a video. And I didn't believe that there were so many people that had to see a video to believe what she had said. Now, we know Tony Busby's for the street and from the street. He's a gutter attorney. He don't care about his family, himself, his clients. No, he needs this money. And he said he gonna drop that video and he gonna slice and dice it so we'll have a lot to see. Unless they get paid. Now, yesterday's price is not necessarily today's price. So we are 3 days out. And stupid Shannon got up here and told you all he gonna step down until the preseason. No, you a whole fool. Yeah, you really out there, Shannon. Now, I don't have no facts. But I think he might be suffering that CTE thing. You know, too many hits to the head. I ain't got no facts. But he might have been on those roids. And so he's not a clear thinking man. I don't think he was ever that intelligent. But right now, the time is ticking. And we know from Sean Carter, Jay-Z case, Tony liked to send pictures, letters with ticking clocks in them, letting you know you're running out of time. And so he's running out of time. So yes, for those who want to call out this young woman, you know, they want to say what she is and what she isn't, and they don't want to value her, and this was a setup, and Shannon said it was a shakedown. Whatever it was, you're going to pay. Now, I know, Diva, you got a lot of grace. You are not going to run that video of her in a dog collar getting assaulted, okay? But somebody else will. Somebody else will. And I'm sure we're going to get told. We'll be able to see it, okay? And then what is he going to do then? As I said to you earlier, I doubt if he ever, one day, one moment, even had a simple thought to just give any of his children $10 million. I don't think it ever came up in an idea, a concept of any kind. But he said he was going to give his transactional hoe $10 million just because. Well, that was last week's price. Every day is going up. So he wants us to believe that he'll be back in August. Well, I don't think so. Because you let that video drop, nobody's ever going to look at you the same. If you think there's something pleasant about seeing you looking like some kind of animal on top of this girl with a choke collar on her, and you're assaulting her, you think we're going to say, well, yeah, you was paying her and that's okay? No, sir. You're a predator and you're an abuser. And you go to these gyms and you prey on these young people in there. And God, I can only imagine what he's done in the gym. Okay, so anybody was part of that gym, you need to leave. Okay, you need to leave.
How about this, Felicia? Probably any gym, because you know what? There's predators everywhere.
Yes, and this is what these old semi-retired, got lucky, got some money men are doing up in these gyms, preying on our daughters and our nieces and our granddaughters and our friends' kids. This is what they're doing. And if he wants me to believe that this was just what's that? 12 Years a Slave, where he was playing the buck and she was out. Sir, I'm done. No, sir. No, you were not. This is who you are. There's so many women that have said you have chokehold them. You did it on the job. No, it's time for him to pay back. I don't care if he end up with no money. No money. You didn't deserve what you were able to earn from that one interview. All of your blessings are done. It's time to pay. And if he don't pay up and that video come out, I'll say it first. He gonna get clinked up.
Oh my.
They'll charge him with something. Yep. They ain't got a problem putting him in. They should put him right over there with Sean. Yeah. They can bring him to Brooklyn. They can bring him to Brooklyn. The two of them can sit up there and talk. They're in the same age group. They got things they can discuss. But this piece here, it has to end. And if he has to be the example, then let it be so. I'm done.
Who child? Julius, your thoughts?
So he has a history. Oh, he a ragamuffin, down-hole, dirty dog. I'll say it again. A ragamuffin, down-hole, dirty dog. He's past his time to be cleaned up. Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. It's past time for him to be cleaned up. He needs to be cleaned up. I agree with Miss Felicia. Send him over there to Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. You know, that he can go ahead and kiki and laugh it up with Sean Combs. Because, you know, they both, I'm not even going to say it, but y'all get the idea.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Okay, well, I'm finna shake the train, okay?
Oh, God. Okay.
Two things can be true at the same time. Yes, Shannon is a dog. He's an abuser. He could be all these things. But this woman is not no innocent woman, not no innocent victim by no means, okay? Those text messages said, put me in a dog collar. Okay, those text messages said, put a big black baby inside me. Let me tell you something. Never let a man tell you once how he feel about you and you stay around. This wasn't no one time done and one time hit it and quit it. No, it wasn't it. Okay? A real victim would have filed criminal charges and civil charges at the same time. I don't feel sorry for this woman because I think she knew the game. In those text messages, she was asking for 25. Okay? I'm just not. Here's my thing. Two things can be true at the same time. We all know how these athletes is. Steve, you just did a story about one athlete that was choking his girl on the doggone on internet. That's who they are. If you stick around and you let this happen to you and you keep coming back, you're telling him you don't value yourself. So guess what? They're going to keep on treating you the same way. Because you ain't got to stand up for yourself. Now, I'm from the old school, okay? My mama used to tell me, listen here, a man can't do nothing to you unless you let him. I seriously, I just my gut feeling is she knew she was finna be on the outs. She recorded these tapes and made herself sound innocent because she knew she was recording. She knew how to make herself sound vulnerable. And so she white, so she gotta be right. Let's not forget, okay? This ain't the first time we done seen it. We saw it with Jonathan Majors. He was running from his, okay? And he still got clanked up. I'm just saying, two things can be true at the same time. Shannon is a whole hot mess. But so is this girl. And I ain't trophying for now one of them. For all I care, they can clank both of them up. Don't damn one of them need no money. Take all their money and give it away to a charity. That's all, Diva.
Ooh, child. Wayne, your thoughts?
I gotta say it, I agree with opinion. However, Shannon Sharpe wouldn't be shaken down if they'd shaken him down if he didn't put himself in a position to be shaken down. Okay? Whether that girl was recording him or not, that's not how people are going to see it. I don't feel sorry for this girl. I think Shannon resigned, and I think that, like you said, that the owners, the upper officials, whatever, probably liked him and probably said, this is my opinion, probably said, look, we're gonna need you to step down. Now, depends on how your trial comes out. If it comes out, good, then we get you back. But if it doesn't, something like that, because I think they liked him enough to do something like that rather than just say you fired. But he put himself in a position to be shaken down. I don't feel sorry for Shannon Sharpe either. He put himself in a position to do that. He chose to get with somebody 30 years younger than him. So he getting what he asked for. That's it.
Thank you. Tay, your thoughts?
Well, Shannon, don't ask for the community to help you out. You on your own, brother. And
Tay,
good
are
luck.
you there?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Am I the only one that can't hear?
I can hear.
I can hear.
I can hear.
Okay.
Something wrong with my mic, Diva?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. All I said, good luck, Shannon. Good luck, brother. Don't ask for the community to help you out, because we sure ain't gonna help you. You brought this on to yourself, brother. And good luck to the court. And make sure you get a good lawyer, brother. That's all.
Well, that's it and that's all, y'all. Listen, ESPN did not bring.
I don't know, but I found these results in search.
ESPN did not bring Michael Irvin back for less. I'm feeling like it's time for all deviants to go bye-bye. Well. You know what? It's a shame. I think I might have said this yesterday, and I'll say it again today. Too much is given, much is required. That contract could not only change his life, but the life of his family, like his kids, everybody. And if you like what you like when it comes to sexuality, then you like what you like. But everybody needs to be consenting adults. And what men have to be very careful of, a woman can say yes 1,000 times, but the minute she says no, you got to back off and back down, or you will find yourself in a Shannon Sharpe situation. And you got to know people's patterns. And that's the beauty of, but they had a consensual relationship. But I want to say the beauty of not just, being with randoms every now and then is somebody patterns. And you'll know when they're acting weird on the phone. Did she perhaps set him up? Yeah, she probably did. But you know what? He got. But he's a fool. Because he should know game. And if it's true that he paid 23 women before her, then he really is stupid. So it is what it is. You can't feel sorry for a man that has a history of paying people off. I'm not paying somebody. I'm going to be a Jay-Z. If I know I'm in the right, you're not getting one red penny. And we know something at the very least is not right because he was in negotiations to give her double digits, $10 million. That's not chump change. So he was ready to give up $10 million. And now he's trying to act as if nothing, it's a shakedown, it's a this. If it was a shakedown, that's what you should have stepped out the door with when they first tried to negotiate with you. Shannon's in trouble. He messed up. And I think, I forgot who said it, that they said that you believe ESPN liked him enough that they let him make this particular statement. I don't think he's going to be back, though. At all. So I thank you guys for being here.
Hold on, Diva. I feel like this. He had all these court cases against him. He paid these people off. What I don't understand is why the court hasn't stepped in if he got all these allegations against him and locked him up before now. Because this is ridiculous. If you got all these these allegations against you and you still letting this man walk free because he paying these people off, that's wrong with the society right now. So he's out here to do it to somebody else when y'all could have stopped it from the get-go, because all this stuff got to be filed through courts. So if he got all these allegations filed up against him and nobody looked into this, even though he paid these people off, I find that's totally ridiculous. So he's out there now to harm somebody else. That's a sick game.
Well, it's a sick game, but you will be shocked and surprised about how many people are paying people off. But see, the problem is really not just the person who's doing it. It's the person who is willing to accept money versus going to the police and saying, I want to press charges. I can't just go out just because you got a civil suit. I can't now, as the law authority, say, I'm going to charge so-and-so with SA or R just because there was a civil suit filed. Because when I charge you, I got to have some evidence. They couldn't just raid Diddy's home. They had to go to a judge and say, we want to raid these homes because of XYZ. And they had to show some proof that as to why they thought this was so in order to get the permits to go raid his home. I can't just be going and charging you with R and I don't even know if this girl is telling the truth or lie and there's no evidence. So it's really not up to the courts. It is up to the people that is coming forth and saying that so-and-so did this. But you know what? It's all a game to them. It's the money grab. So the money grab is either I get pregnant by these rich men so that I can go to court and get child support for 18 years or whatever many years, depending upon the state. Or you going to accuse them of this. We are finding now, even if you are in a relationship with somebody, you could come back, do a civil suit and say, well, he R'd me. And I'm saying this respectfully. At what point does the person become somewhat responsible? I can roll with, okay, he R'd you, but why did you stay? He R'd you in 2022. Why did you stay 2023, 2024, and 2025? I don't understand how that's acceptable.
And that's what I was saying too. Like, I'm sorry, go ahead. But that's what I was saying too. Like by she showing that he's paying her, isn't prostitution illegal? Then you just say you accepted money for sex, so she should be brought up on charges as well.
Katrina, you got to stick with the facts that are given. She never said she was getting paid for that. If you notice, she said the last time he came over, it was because he was bringing her a Christmas gift and a birthday gift. This girl she's very strategic and sick.
But I thought she said she paid 20. He paid the last time you paid 25 for cheek.
She said no. She said you're going to pay 25 for this cheek and that cheek. Listen,
okay. I got you.
At the end of the day, though, it's a game, and he gambled his life on this game. Yeah, well, now it's turning out that the 25 was 25 million per cheek because she won $50 million. Yeah,
Them some expensive cheese, baby. Them cheese must got gold in them.
Yeah, she said 25 and 25, and now it's $50 million that she's asking for. But you know what though? All of these men that fall for this, they a whole fool. They a whole fool. This has been the game, even in the hood, so to speak. This is the game. The girl want to keep her, she get pregnant. It's a game on the lowest level. It just gets different as it goes up the ladder. But there's a man out there that needs to hold a town hall with all of these men and help them wake up. Help them wake up.
Diva, I'd like to say something here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because there's no judgment here from me on what this young woman is doing. I have never seen anyone who's in this X business and online, the OnlyFans or whatever. She's not by herself. There's quite a few of them out there. But my understanding is that there are boundaries even in the X trade. So I have a question. If we have an agreement that certain things are not to happen, and they have happened, and I have brought it to your attention that I told you no, and you did it anyway, because I bought you or I purchased your services, does that mean that that's okay?
It's never okay, Felicia. But my thing is that he argued before the last situation happened, according to her. These ain't my words. These are her words. He argued her before the last time. So if he argued and this has destroyed you to the point where you're doing this civil suit, why when he called you and talk about some Christmas and birthday gift, you allow him to come over and then you said he argued you again? We got to at some point stop the foolery. If a man has argued me in December of 2024, first of all, your number's going to be blocked at the very least. And if you find some way to get through to me via Instagram, Twitter, I don't know how, but mail, old school, you mail me a letter, I ain't got nothing for you. So my problem with this situation is, I'll let you go. Give me 1 second, Leo. My problem with this situation is, you said this happened multiple times over and over again. So at what point do you become responsible? Because neither way, she was in one state, he was in another. You didn't say, like the people said with Diddy, he had people following me, he tracked me, he this, that, and the other. You was over there, he was over there, you wasn't living in his house. At what point do you stop this man from coming through? Do he have to violate you 100 times before you wake up and realize I got violated? Go ahead, Leo.
I find this conversation very interesting too, because the women in our age group do see it the way that Diva sees it. But the younger women, the women within her age group, do not think that way. And I find the conversation interesting because me and you would definitely, especially, we are women who have lived, so therefore I've been in several relationships where I didn't like the way the man talked to me. And I still wouldn't deal with him. Not even anything as severe as this. So in our generation, it could be those type of boundaries. But I could tell this particular young girl, remember 19 and 20 and 21, me and you understand that when someone harms you, to stay away from them. I don't think that women are socialized like that anymore.
Well,
I think it would take her 100 times.
Well,
I do.
I'm gonna add this to the conversation, and this I'm 10 toes down on. I laid my Starbucks card on the line for this. if Shannon Sharpe was Johnny from the block at 50-something years old, and he came through the gym trying to holler at her, Johnny from the block wouldn't have got her phone number. Johnny from the block wouldn't have been able to do all this to her, because she would have told Johnny from the block to get out her face. So I said on my channel for years, and I say it all the time, people gotta stop valuing money in things, because you know what you ain't never going to get back? You ain't never going to get back that innocence. You never going to get back what that person took from you for you to have a Gucci bag sitting in your closet when probably next year you ain't going to want to carry it anyway. So this chick said out of her own mouth, he came over to bring a Christmas and a birthday gift. And I implore you again, do you need a gift from someone else that bad that this man talk all kind of sideways to you? And let's forget about the talk for a minute. You said already that before that date, he violated you in a Christmas gift and a birthday gift allowed you to say, yeah, come through. No.
If I may say, I thank you, Leo. I think Leo touched on something. This may be a generational gap in how things are perceived. This is a business relationship. Ain't nobody dating here, falling in love, going to have a life together. This is transactional. It's all transactional. So maybe she needed the money. She thought she was going to get the money. She going to get this and he going to get that. Katrina was absolutely accurate. The conversation was it was going to be $25K per. And when it went down, he only paid $10K per. And she was angry because she got shortchanged. This is transactional. This is a business. I'm angry and disgusted with Shannon for the business that he's in. And I feel great empathy for these young women who believe that what they have in terms of their bodies is worth this kind of ongoing abuse. Thank you. But I expect more from Shannon Sharpe, a whole lot more. And like I said a little bit ago, because you're going to put down your Starbucks card, I'll put down what I spend for my fried chicken every week. That he ain't never told one of his kids he was just going to give him $10 million because he felt like it. It's what we value. He values being amongst people who are going to allow him to abuse their bodies to his sexual satisfaction. I don't think any one of us has a family member or someone we love we would want to see in that situation. No one here heard me say the word sorry for. I expected better from Mr. Sharpe. And to think that what you said, Johnny from the block, no, he couldn't get with her because you got to come up with the money. You don't have the money, you're not getting her. That's how it works.
Well, I'm sorry. To get into these type of OnlyFans type things, she has been in practice before him. So no, she's been abused before. She didn't walk in the door, little Bo Peep. No, she's been abused before. No, she has. By Johnny Round the Block. Her uncle may have done it. So she might have started out like that. Not to be her fault, but no, I disagree. I feel as though she has been abused before. She don't know. Somebody probably told her she can get paid, girl. And she said, oh, I can?
I agree with you again, Leo. But then that takes us to a whole different conversation about the values and how we're raising our daughters and our sons, how we show love, how we demonstrate love. I think many people in this chat, and Dawn Shaw in this panel, I have said how often we want to hold people we don't know accountable. Yet the predator that we do know, we set a plate for them at the table. They're welcomed in our homes. They're around our children. But Shannon is going to pay and pay again. He says he's going to go sit with his family right now. I don't know if they want to be sitting around him. And if that video come out, I doubt if they will.
The video, because I believe that Tony Busby is who he is, the video is going to come out. And just like that video was leaked, so to speak, to CNN of Diddy and Cassie, this video is going to come out. And I think Shannon Sharpe knows it, right? Because Shannon Sharpe said in his statement that this video will most likely come out and it's going to play into every stereotype and whatever else he said.
Wow.
He said that out of his own mouth.
He did. I remember. That's how come I'm grunting, because he sure did say that. It's looking real bad.
It's looking bad.
Did he know she was recording him?
No, he didn't know.
He didn't know. And okay, so here's the thing. Okay, this is my whole issue. We know that these celebrities, basketball players, football players, athletes, doctors, actors, all of them are for the streets. But they can't be for the streets if we didn't have girls out here selling their body for a piece of change. And then when things don't go your way, you come out and say, oh, he essayed me. Oh, he argued me. I need people to wake up and have enough dignity for their own body to respect what you have. Value what you have. Have enough decency in your own mind to think that I don't deserve to be treated this way. But if all you're looking for is a quick payday, then this is what we're going to have all day long. Because there's going to always be somebody out here that's trash.
Wow. Yikes. But Isaiah, I don't think it's not Shannon Sharpe that will be releasing it. It would be Tony Busby and his own client. Just like Cassie gave her videotapes over to the DA. Smoke, we haven't seen you in a long time. You're in the building. What are your thoughts?
Hi everybody. Just wanted to drop it because I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm with the 92% of Black women on this. This ain't none of my business. He chose the path that he wanted to walk, and now he's paying the price. And they actually was watching a clip of him on the podcast with Chad Ochocinco, where he was saying he needs to find somebody that's not his age, but in his wage. Well, if homegirl wins this lawsuit, she's going to be in your wage too, with half of your money. So be careful of the words you speak. They come to fruition.
The power of the tongue. The power of the tongue. Ooh, child. Listen, I will say this, that tomorrow night with the Juice Radio and Talk Show and a few others, I think Roya is going to be on a panel too. We're going to have a broader conversation about this whole Shannon Sharpe thing. She has pulled together a panel to kind of talk about this. And everybody on this panel, thank y'all, because a lot of different aspects and avenues came up in regards to this situation. It's loaded for sure. And I caught what you said, Leo, and I do believe that, and I'm not going to say everyone, nothing is always every. I do believe when people end up down this road, if you go back in their childhood, so to speak, there's something on how they ended up, being a sex worker, so to speak, and being so fluid and into doing, perhaps these OnlyFans and things like that. It's a lot, and it's a lot to talk about. And the solution is, to me, always you got to heal that inner child so it doesn't impact your adulthood in a negative way. And I do believe that no matter what money she may end up getting from this situation, is not going to solve the bigger problem that lies within, unless she goes and she gets some help and she gets some therapy. So I'm just wishing her the best and that she heals. And like I said, this title is called Crying Out for Help. Shannon Sharpe needs some healing too. And I have nothing against what people want to do behind closed doors. But this is a bigger thing than what he wants to do behind closed doors. It seems as if a few people in this entertainment industry, they go dark when it comes to sex. Diddy amassed a huge fortune, and all of it to, at the end of his days, he's now sitting in the Metropolitan Detention Center about the fight for his life. Whether if he's free, like say he gets off, he's not really going to be free. If he does time, he's 50 something. They give him 10 years, he'll be 60 something. They give him 20 years, he'll be 80 something. Gonna be behind bars like Suge Knight, and Suge Knight is still a whole thug and angry as I don't know what. We got to be careful when we're raising our children. We got to be careful when we the godmother, the godfather, the uncle, the auntie. All of this stuff that's being poured into them by the village impacts them. And that's who ends up in our society. Why would any person want to do something to another person that they would never want done to their own child? We got to start caring about one another in order for this world to be a better place. I appreciate y'all being here. I didn't even think this was going to be this long, but I thank y'all for coming through. Sometimes we got to have these tough conversations. Shannon Sharpe is unfortunately another one who just is a disgrace. And was given so much and flushed it down the toilet. Flushed it down the toilet. I appreciate y'all guys for being here. If y'all didn't hit that like button on the way in, do me a favor, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo-choo.
Do not cheat the devil. Try